Now, if you're watching this video, you may have been ghosted, you may have dated someone that's let you down, or you might even have been cheated on. Now, when those things have happened to you, it makes you want to protect yourself, and especially if they've happened to you time and time again. You know, you might want to meet someone, but it's hard to believe and trust again, and you find yourself wondering how you can avoid the pain that you've experienced in the past. So you might find yourself Googling to find the most common lies people tell, how you can, pick a liar, how you can protect yourself. And, that is normal behavior. Now, what I do want to say is not all men and not all women cheat. Not everyone will ghost you, not everyone will let you down. Problem is, if it's happened to you a few times, the way our brain works is it goes with the rule of three. If something's happened to you 3 or more times, it makes it a rule and it makes it a generalization, like almost like it's a fact. Now, I know that maybe I've had things happen to me 3 times, but 7 other times I haven't. So sometimes the way our brain works goes against us. And when you're dating, if you're looking for what can go wrong and you're so focused on that, you can miss out on a lot of good. So, most of the time, what I want to say is there is an awful lot of really good singles out there. Not everyone is going to hurt you. Not everyone is going to ghost you. Not everyone is going to cheat on you. And, I've seen hundreds and thousands of good singles, so don't lose heart. But what I'm going to talk about in this short video is the 10 common lies people tell online, because 1/3 of all people are meeting online at the moment. And what tends to happen online, because it's such a judgmental, superficial thing, is people might tell small lies. Now, there was a big study that they did to find out what type of lies people tell online, and they found that about 80% of people lied online, which is quite high, right? But the good news was they didn't lie about stuff that really mattered. It was small things to make themselves better, to get them a date. So I'm just going to go through the 10 common lies that people tell online. Now, the first lie that people tell is around their age. So they found that people will generally round down by 5 years, and particularly the 40 to 50-year-olds. And they do this to either get into a search bracket, or they feel that no one's going to want them the older they get. And I want to tell you that's not true. There are more singles over 40 and over 50 than ever before. And one of the biggest calls I get from people is, I'm 40, I'm 50, I'm 60, I don't look my age. Now, most people look really good nowadays, so it's okay to be 100% honest about our age. And we're going to attract the right person, because telling some of those white lies stops you from getting a second date. Now, the second most common lie online was about height. And it found that 50% of men lied about this. And one of the reasons why is it's no secret that women prefer taller men. In fact, taller men online get twice as many messages as women do. That's huge, right? And the interesting fact was shorter women got more messages than taller women. So height matters. Look, I feel if you can leave your height out of your dating profile, unless you're a taller man or a shorter woman, unless you're in that optimal range. If you can leave it out, but don't lie about it again, because if you say you're 6 foot and you turn up as a guy and you're 5'3", you're not going to get a second date. Now, the next thing that people lied about was weight. Now, it's no surprise women were more likely to lie about their weight, because there's more pressure on women to be a certain weight. So women would take off about 3.8 kilos of their weight. Men would only take about 0.6, so they weren't as bothered about it. But it was a common area that women would lie about. The next thing is very similar. People would lie about body type. Now, body type is really interesting. So they found that men would say they were athletic and toned when they weren't. Now, a lot of sites too have body types that you're meant to say whether you're slim, athletic, average, slightly overweight, etc. And, you know, people would put themselves down a category. I know back in the days when RSVP was very popular, if you put average, it was perceived as being overweight, and which is really interesting because average is simply average. But the thing with the whole body type is people do have particular body types that they're attracted to. If you lie about that and you turn up on a date, you're not going to get a second date. So, you know, some of these lies, like I said, were to get a date, but it didn't ever result in a second date, so it's simply not worthwhile. Now, the next, sorry, I'm going to get my list because the next one was, the most deceptive part of a profile were the photos. You know, people putting photos on that were 10 years younger, 10 kilos lighter, photos that just didn't look like them. So don't do that either, because it will not get you a second date. Now, the other thing that's interesting is men don't trust a photo of just a woman's face because they think that they might be hiding that they're fat. Things like hats and sunglasses don't result on good results because people want to see what you look like, and they don't want to go on a date and feel like they've been lied to. In fact, that's the biggest reason people don't get a second date. So make your photos recent, let them look like you, and the better version of yourself. Don't put terrible photos on, because sometimes I see people have 10 photos and they're only as good as their worst photos. So keep that in mind. Now, the next thing that people lied about was their income. So men particularly did this, and they found that people would lie about their income between 20 and 40%. So they would exaggerate to make themselves look better. I mean, men think that women want the wealthy man, so they feel like they have to present it. And a lot of guys didn't feel any guilt about doing this. Now, lie number 8 was about the job type. So it found that 42% of men lied about their job and 32% of women. Now, again, I probably wouldn't put my occupation on my dating profile, because sometimes there's a lot of stereotypes that goes into what occupation you have, and you just don't need it in a profile. I mean, unless of course I was a doctor or a dolphin trainer, I might put that in, although people might then think I was lying about that. But again, these lies are about getting a date and thinking that they need to appeal to the person that they're going to date. Hobbies and interests were the next thing that people lied about. Now, when it came to that, say, how many profiles do you see where people go, I like to walk down the beach? Now, the amount of singles that say they like to walk down the beach, you would think that the beach would be overflowing with singles people, and it's not. In fact, so many people, when they've contacted someone for a date and said, let's meet at the beach, they go, I don't like the beach. Don't put something in your profile that's not your hobby or interest. And, you know, if you feel like you haven't got any hobbies or interests, go find someone, because it will make you more happy and interesting as a person. But do not lie about your interests. And if you're genuine and sincere about your interests, you're going to attract someone like-minded. So, you know, it's no point in lying about that. Now, the last two are not so great. So the number 9 lie was about what people were looking for. So often people would say they were looking for a relationship when they weren't looking for a relationship. But the thing is, that one will be found out pretty soon after you met the person. It's, again, not a cool lie to do, but some people do think they're looking for a relationship and they're not really when it comes to it. But be clear in your profile. If you're looking for a relationship, you're looking for a relationship. If you're looking for casual, put that you're looking for casual. And be open and transparent about what you want. Now, the last lie, number 10, was the worst lie of all, and it was about their relationship status. So 42% of people on Tinder were married. Now, that is not cool, not something I recommend. And, you know, that's probably a lot of people's biggest fears. And what I would say is with any of these things, that actions always speak louder than words. So most of the lies in this list were about people getting a first date, and they were feeling like they had to present a certain way to get the date. But most of the time when they did that, it doesn't result in the second date. It wasn't that need to deceive or be a bad person, okay, except for possibly the last two. But even with the person that's married, very soon you will be able to see, because people can tell you anything. When you date them, dating should be about, getting to know someone, trusting your gut feeling when you meet them, and seeing if their actions match their words, because words are cheap, but actions aren't. So the person that is looking for a relationship will clearly show you they are looking for a relationship, and it's so different. So, you know, people can lie to you, but their actions will always show you who they are. And look, if you're, having profiles that aren't working for you, I do help people get profiles that work, show them how to use online dating as a tool where they can successfully meet some high quality singles. But I don't believe in putting your eggs in one basket. There's online, there's out and about, there's through friends, there's events. You can meet someone anywhere and everywhere, really. Anyway, whatever you're doing, I hope that you're well and safe. Take care. Bye.